Mike Tyson once offered Zookeeper $10,000 to open a gorilla cage so he could wrestle it. But why? Imagine this: Mike Tyson, one of history's most feared boxers, once offered a zookeeper $10,000 to fight a gorilla inside a cage. Yes, this actually happened. The story takes us back to the late 1980s, when Tyson was at the peak of his career. He was boxing's youngest heavyweight champion, known for his violent blows, unwavering confidence, and erratic demeanor. Tyson's fame had made him wealthy and influential, and he frequently spent his money in strange ways. One evening, he decided to do something that few people could possibly imagine. Tyson rented out the entire Central Park Zoo in New York City so he and his then-wife, actress Robin Givens, could have a private tour with no one else present. As they strolled around the zoo, they ultimately arrived at the gorilla enclosure. Inside the cage, Tyson observed a big silverback gorilla. Silverbacks, the leaders of gorilla groups, are recognized for their size, power, and authority. This gorilla threw its weight around, pushing and threatening the other gorillas in the enclosure. Most people would find it fascinating to see wild animals behaving naturally. It did, however, strike a chord with Tyson, who had always viewed himself as a fighter who stood up to the strong and unfair. He subsequently claimed that seeing the gorilla threatening the others angered him and triggered a sudden, passionate need to act. Tyson went to the zookeeper beside him and made a proposition that stunned everyone. He offered $10,000 in cash if the zookeeper would unlock the cage and allow him to fight the silverback gorilla one-on-one. The zookeeper, of course, declined. He understood how hazardous such a concept was. Gorillas are not only larger and stronger than even the most skilled human fighters, but their arms and jaws are also extremely powerful. A single strike from a gorilla might break bones, and Tyson, no matter how fiery he was in the ring, would have had no chance. Tyson subsequently confessed that the request was half crazy, but it felt real at the time. It was not about money or fame. It was about his urge to confront something he thought was unfair. He once stated, "I paid the attendant to open the cage so I could bash the silverback's snot box." He declined. Looking back, the story has become one of the strangest and most talked about episodes from Tyson's wild past. It shows both his fearless personality and his impulsive nature. He had the kind of confidence that made him believe he could stand toe-to-toe with a 400-pound wild animal. Of course, we can only imagine what might have happened if the zookeeper had agreed. Experts say there is no question that the gorilla would have easily overpowered even a champion boxer like Tyson. But the fact that he was willing to make such an offer has become a part of his legend, a mix of bravery, recklessness, and the larger-than-life behavior that made him a global icon. Today, when people look back on Tyson's career, this story stands out as one of the most bizarre. It captures the spirit of a man who was never afraid to face anything head-on, no matter how impossible or risky it seemed. In the end, Tyson never fought the gorilla, but the tale lives on as one of the wildest moments in sports history, proof that Mike Tyson's life outside the ring could be just as unpredictable as his fights inside it.
Yeah.